Child, I don't know what happened. I'm so pissed. My whole
It's okay.
life just fucking disappeared.
Oh no.
Like the whole, like, I wiped the call, and the next thing you know, girl, I'm getting a new phone. I'm getting a new phone. We got 10
I'm
minutes left
sorry.
for our time. I certainly don't want to take up your whole afternoon,
No,
but it's just
it's
so
all good.
important to
Hi,
me to
Vaughn.
talk about.
Burgundy. I just do that little shout out real quick.
Gotta wave to people, gotta speak to people. So, you guys, this is the second part because my first live, I don't know what happened. The devil is a liar. Wiped
Uh-oh,
my
did
whole
it?
life. Our beautiful organic conversation, two bald black women in media, chopping it up. So Dana, I love Dana. I've admired her work for years. She's been on Essence. She's doing stuff with the Griot. Stop it! Look at her. Trying to blush. But we were just talking about the future of entertainment journalism in the space and getting back to red carpets. Dana had her take, I had my take, but I just wanted to talk to her a little bit more about what's next for her. She wants to curate more content
Yeah.
in the social justice space, and I was asking her about partnering with Brian Stevenson and his Equal Justice Initiative. Um,
Mhm.
oh, thank you so much. Oh, Jameer! Hey, Jameer. Love me some Jameer Pond, another colleague of ours out here killing it.
Yeah,
So
no, I
Dana,
haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it. I've been like looking for like those interesting stories. Like I've just been looking for different stories and then like digging. And so I've been doing a lot of research, and trying to figure it out. We'll figure it out.
yeah,
We'll figure it
yeah. I
out.
so get it. I definitely get it. I mean, Brian Stevenson, I mean, you might want to look into doing some stuff with them, Dana. I mean,
Yeah, I
they're doing
should. I think I should.
amazing work.
There's
This
just
film, Just Mercy with Jamie Foxx.
I feel like I
Woo!
need to focus. Like there's so many different lanes that are or things that are piquing my interest. Like also about all the untested rape kits in the United States and
Oh,
different.
wait.
Yes, it was actually a really great documentary on HBO. But just kind of picking up where some of those stories left off. Like there are just so many different, and I need to kind of focus. You know what I mean?
Wait, let me say hi to
But I
Maisha. What's up, Maisha Gearwood? Maisha's an amazing storyteller as well, an alumnus from Smith College. Has been doing her thing in New York and LA for years, for years. Love Maisha, dear friend of mine. Um, yeah, so untested rape kits, Dana, that's big, girl. That's
Yeah, so
huge.
I think those are the stories that I'm just kind of like different things I'm kind of digging into a little bit more, different cases of
What do you
that
think
are
is taking so long with this Breonna Taylor case and why we can't get,
yes, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
what's
There are just so
going
many.
on?
Um, it's injustice, it's blatant injustice, it's racism, it's politics, it's all of those ugly, ugly things. And my father's in the legal field, and he's often said, I don't know if you were familiar with the statue of Lady Justice. She's has a blindfold and she's holding these scales of justice, and he always says on the street she can see, and that's just how I feel, and it's disgusting if and I there just aren't any words, and it's sad and it's unfortunate and it's just wrong. It's just downright wrong, and it sends a message, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, that as a person of color, as a woman of color, that my life is not of the same value as yours. We've already
Yeah.
recognized it when you know Caucasian children go missing versus when children of color go missing, the type of response and alerts that are pushed and received on a local and national level. Like we get those messages all the time, I think, and it's disgusting. It's
It's
disgusting.
horrifying.
That woman
Really.
deserves justice.
Um,
Hmm?
we have to talk about Black women. We have to make sure we are included in the conversation of Black Lives Matter. You know, whenever there's Black life, a Black male life shut down, there's always, the action is always swift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always urgent. There's always boots on the ground. So
Yeah.
immediately, you know, when it comes to Black men, when it comes to women, the response is slow. Yeah. And then when the response finally kicks in, it's not steady. You know, it
Right.
was very interesting watching this beautiful speech that John Boyega gave, you know, during the George Floyd protest in London. And, you know, I took an excerpt of that speech where he talked about Black men. We need to protect our Black women. His speech, that excerpt in that speech was just as powerful as Malcolm X's speech in the 1960s when he talked about the Black women being the most disrespected, the least protected person in America. You know, and John Boyega's speech, you know, his cadence and everything was very similar to that. And then when you looked at the press covering
Yes.
of that speech, no one mentioned that part of the speech, Dana.
No, they
You
didn't.
know, yeah,
Because that's uncomfortable. People want to be real until it's time to be real, in my opinion. It's uncomfortable to have those conversations. At the time, I'll never forget, I was working at Essence and we were working on the show, and Philando Castile was murdered.
oh,
And
wait a minute. Philando Castile, girl, let me tell you something. That is some I took a leave of absence after that Philando Castile. I just couldn't do it anymore, Dana.
it's hard.
I was, you know, and I'm pretty good. I can be pretty stealth and clandestine, you know.
Hmm.
But Philando Castile, I could not work. I'm like, this is enough.
Yeah,
This is enough.
absolutely. Absolutely. No, absolutely. It was devastating. I think it also affected a lot of people differently because there was a child that bared witness as well. And I remember there were some of my colleagues from other outlets in the makeup room, and they were Caucasian, and they said, why do you think that happened? Why do you think this keeps happening?" And I was so in the moment, I said, because people in America are afraid of Black men. And I remember saying that. And I remember the makeup artist stopping in the moment. And I remember thinking, yeah, that's going to go to HR. You know, but it was just, I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in. I said, because people in America are afraid of Black men. And I just, you
Yeah,
know, I, I think to not
it's
be
sad.
affected by what you're
Yeah,
seeing, you're disconnected from life if you're not affected by what you're seeing and like the,
you're not human.
yeah.
You're not human if you're not affected by what is happening in the world today with Black life, what has happened historically in Black life. You know, here we are, 401 years later, after 1619, when the first slaves are brought to Jamestown, you know, and we are still feeling and dealing with the atrocity and attack on this Black skin, Black bodies, you know. And if we don't come together collectively, and I mean collectively when I was saying in the first part, um, that's because it was so good. Devil, you a liar, but we back. Um, that we have to have our allies.
We have to have our
We have
allies.
to have our allies. You know, and it took a global health crisis. It took a pandemic, you know what I mean, to let people feel
Hmm.
what we're feeling.
It took a
Okay.
pandemic which triggered a recession. Let's not forget the money, because for a
Yeah.
lot of people all they
Yeah.
understand is money, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an emotional time. It's definitely
You
an emotional.
know, I try and look at this time too, though, Dana, as a gift. You know, we have an opportunity to slow down and take inventory of our lives, take inventory of what's important. Um, Pardon me, we use the term going back to normal. If going back to normal means continuing to marginalize Black life, that's not a normal that I want to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that this uprising, um, will shut that whole idea of going back to normal, because that wasn't a healthy normal for so many of us,
Right.
Black and brown people. The
Mhm.
way America has been constructed is not a safe space or place for us. So that's not a normal that we want to go back to.
Absolutely
You know what
not.
I mean? Yeah, just
Absolutely
not a
not.
normal that we want to go back to. I want to wrap up really quickly because we did have a pretty great conversation before, and I don't even know what happened. I just tried to wipe the screen, and I'm like, my whole life was going. I was like, where is everybody? Where is everybody? But I just want to say, Dana, like, you are definitely someone in the field that we all respect and admire. I think you're such a trailblazer. You definitely, yeah, coming on board with Essence and being tapped by them and just really leading a space of being authentic, and true to who you are. You did
Oh,
that so well with
thank
Essence. You
you.
did that so well, girl. You're like,
Thank
I'm being me. You were bold, and, some of your outfit choices, and, just the way you were in your interviews, and laughing, and, just being you. And I think that really helped. It bolstered Essence. It really did.
Oh my
You
gosh,
know,
Lisa. You're too kind. Thank you.
no, it really did, because there's always, with these. I mean, Ebony is going, girl.
That's yeah. That I can't I never thought I would hear that.
What in the hell?
I never thought I would hear that. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought I would hear that. Yeah. Media's changed drastically.
And you have to
Drastically.
be able to keep up. You
You have to be able
know?
to keep up. And also too, you have non-multicultural outlets that are adopting our culture, and then the ad dollars are shifting to those spaces. So it's like it's a whole cycle. That's like a whole other tangent. But um, yeah, you have to constantly you have to keep
I mean,
up.
Dana, not to go longer on this, but I do really quickly, because you mentioned that ad dollars, and
Yeah.
that's the money. That's how I eat.
Hmm.
Advertising. People
Absolutely.
often ask, well, how are you doing it? Like, how is she doing it? I
Hmm.
do it because I sell advertising slots
Right.
with my brand. I'm going to be on the Golden Globes. This is where it's going to run.
Hmm.
This is how much this slot costs.
Right.
You know, I have an affiliated, negotiated partnership with an outlet that I've been with for years. I get to own my content, maintain full ownership. I get to license, develop, curate, and distribute on my terms. So
Hmm.
that's a win for me. So when you talk
Absolutely.
about ad dollars shifting, you know, due to cultural appropriation, like
Hmm.
that's huge.
It's
Like,
massive and it's very real. It's very very real. It's very very
you
real.
know,
It's you want to tell my stories, but you don't necessarily want to include me in my stories, and then you don't want to pay for my stories, but you'll pay them for my stories, but you won't pay me for my stories. And that's real. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, that's real. Or you'll pay me for my story, but you'll pay me a third of what you paid them for my story. You know.
oh my God. What do you think needs to happen? I mean, is it because there's just a lack of representation in that space? There's nobody in the room, advocating?
I don't know what the answer is to that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the answer is to that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think sometimes it's about people in the room advocating. I don't know. I think that's a multi-layered question. I think sometimes it's about people being in the room,
Yeah,
but I just there could be so many. I don't know. That's a
yeah,
long,
yeah,
complicated question for me. I don't know
yeah,
the answer for that.
yeah. I get it. Just curious. I like to, just ask. Sometimes people have a great answer for it, and sometimes
Mhm.
a great answer is, what, I don't have an answer, which is big too, because that's
You're
how
like
big
I
it is.
don't know.
It's right, because that's data. That
Mhm.
answer is so big because it is huge. Race?
I think it's so.
Yeah, it's race.
There's just so many
Yeah,
layers and so many nuances and so many tentacles. You know, as you said before, that feet that are about. We could be here a whole nother hour, in my
yeah,
opinion. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not doing that. Well, Dana Blair, you've been such a light,
Oh,
thank you
thank you,
for
my love.
accepting the invitation, to come on. You are so cute.
Very blessed.
Accepting the invitation to come onto my feed. It's so crazy because when I was preparing for this, I'm like, wait a second. Me and Dana got quite a few photos together out here in these media
I
streets.
was looking at those photos. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I need to know, who is this dress from? Who is this? Is this a dress or a top?
This here, this is Hood by Air.
So good.
Yeah, this is Hood by Air. It's actually like a
Oh,
little handkerchief halter. Yeah.
so
Um,
good.
and it has sentimental value to me. It was actually one of John Singleton's favorite tops of mine. He was just like, oh my God, I love that top. And we were
Who's that?
photographed together in 2018. He was doing press for Snowfall here on the East Coast, and we were in Philly, and we had this great like photo with me and him, like, and I'm wearing this shirt, and it's so crazy because a few months prior to him passing, someone asked me about this shirt. They were like, "Oh my God, like I would love to buy that. That's like Hood by Air." And I was just like, "Let me think about it. Let me think about it," because we get a lot of shit, Dana.
Hmm.
We have and
I
I'm
don't
just
get
like, oh,
nothing.
I do. I'm willing to
But
share.
I don't. So somebody send me something.
I'm willing to share. But he passed shortly thereafter, and so I'm just like, oh no, gotta hang
You're
on to
beautiful.
this.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. So do you, girl. So do you. This was
Yes.
amazing. Oh,
This
this is
was
what I wanted to do. I'm
yes.
sorry. For my Bearhead beauties, our fellow Bearheads, in the space, how do you care for your scalp? And what do you cut your hair with? Do you use razor? Do you use electric?
It's
Would you
electric.
exfoliate with?
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole process. It's a whole process. I use electric because I'm very clumsy. I don't have the skill set to do a razor. I don't have it. I'm not there.
Okay.
I do electric. I use my bevel trimmer. I'm always peach fuzzy. I don't go all the way to the skin, so it cuts almost to the skin though for me. Um, but it's a whole process. I think people also assume that because you're buzzed or bald or whatever term they're comfortable with, like you don't have to take care of your scalp. You
No,
definitely
this
have to
is this. No,
condition,
girl. Listen.
exfoliate. Yeah.
Yeah, I do to the skin with the razor. I just started doing that within the past year. I
Uh-huh.
actually love it. Um, I shouldn't be doing it, but I just love it. It's so clean. It's so
Uh-huh.
clean.
How often do
Um,
you cut it?
okay, so I will cut it. Okay, I just did it today, right? I will try not to do it anymore for probably a month, and I'll just do a regular electric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I only did this today because, girl, I knew we were both going to be on. I'm like, okay, well, I got to make sure I got a fresh cut. You know what I
That's
mean?
amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to make sure I got a fresh cut. We can't be like two bald beauties and I'm in a head wrap. Because that's what I do a lot of times when I do my lives. I do a head wrap or my little news girl cap. So I'm just
I
like,
love
you know what? Let me do a shave.
you look great.
Thank you. For the most part, too, I do try and do the electric razor, a trimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a situation last summer. I was out here, and I'm spoiled. I'm a New Yorker. I'm accustomed to being able to pop in the barber and get my hair cut. So it's like 10 barbers every step I take. So on
Every
my way
block.
to the subway, I'm jumping in a chair right before a carpet. I'm hot out of a barber's chair with my haircut. I'd never cut my hair before until last year. I was out here, no barber in sight. Yeah, and I did it myself. And
I
I was just
love
like,
that.
yeah.
And how long
Oh,
have you been wearing your hair like this?
9 years.
Okay. I just made
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I just made 8. I started cutting my hair about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago. Because I started getting annoyed with
Yeah.
barbershops. I started getting annoyed with barbers.
Well, you know how it is, Dana, when you're a beautiful woman and you go into the barber and it's all that like misogyny,
It's a
you know.
lot. It's a lot. And
Yeah.
I don't have 2 and 3 hours to sit and wait on you. No, I don't need you to walk me home. No, I
Uh,
don't. Like, no, I don't need all of that. I don't
I
need
had
all of
one barber like giving me like a deep tissue massage. I
that. It's
was
like,
just like,
sir, uh-uh.
please don't. Like he started doing this, you know,
We
and
don't need to
rubbing
do
my
all that.
head, like manipulating my scalp inappropriately. I was just like, this is too much.
You're like, this feels
Yes,
dirty. It feels dirty.
yes,
No,
yes.
no, no, no. I can't. I couldn't. I just couldn't deal with it. And the one barber I did like, um, one of them I really did like, apparently had beef with my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't know. And saw my ex-boyfriend and I out one day, and then after that had an attitude every time he cut my hair. And I was like, "What, sir? What this guy? What?" And so after that, I was like, you know what? I have to resolve to learn how to cut my hair myself because this is not.
Yeah, my dear friend, Isis Rodriguez. Isis, if you're watching this, thank you for encouraging me to cut my own hair. She was like, Grant, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah. You know, but that's that New Yorker in me, you know, especially living uptown, living in Harlem. It's like, when you know,
I was
it
in
was a
Brooklyn. I was
barber
like,
who,
what we doing? Where we going?
yeah, it was a barber who originally gave me my cut. And so I just stayed on message, you know,
Yeah.
and just the idea of being a woman too. I'm accustomed to going to a salon. I'm
Yeah.
accustomed to going somewhere to get tended to, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of being tended to. But what I didn't like and what I don't miss is just the level of misogyny that comes with, you know, a woman coming into her barbershop on her own, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, there are a lot of times, like if I was dating somebody, you know, they would go with me, you know, we go and get our haircuts together. But if they weren't available, like life happens. You can't always be
Wait,
with
how does
me
that
to
work?
the
Because
barbershop.
barbershop, that's a serious zone. Because if we break up, I can't run into you in the barbershop. That's how I felt. So that was like my space.
Wow. Well, here's the thing. I'm not loyal. See. Ah, I'm not loyal. So if I see a chair that's open, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm popping in. But I have
Girl,
four barbershops in Harlem that I used to like rotate between.
have you ever
You know,
had a
like
female barber?
I never had a female cut my hair.
I have to shout out to my homegirl, Miss Ryan Cuts. Candace is
Oh wait,
amazing.
I'm lying. I had a girl out here cut my hair.
Okay.
I had a female out here, a young, beautiful woman, cut my hair. Somewhere down near the Grove, she has a shop. Like near Crescent Heights. Where's the Grove, Dana? That was the
I
last
don't
time
know
I
the
saw
neighborhood. I don't know the neighborhood. I just GPS it.
Yeah, but yeah, I did. She did a great job. She did a great
Mhm.
job. She did a great job. Well, Miss Dana Blair,
Candace cut my hair and it changed my life. It was a totally
who?
different experience. Her name is Candace Ryan. She's in Queens, but she's the first woman to cut my hair and it just changed my life. She's
Oh wow.
super dope, super dope, super dope barber.
What made you decide to
It's great.
cut it?
That was after a breakup.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
girl.
how it is sometimes.
It bees like
It's so
that.
it looks so good
Huh?
on you though. I said it looks so good on you. It looks so good on you. I love
Thank
it. I
you.
love it.
Thanks,
I
girl.
had I cut my hair. It's crazy because I had a big afro. I had gone from the relaxed look to the afro, and around 2010, I knew that I wanted to come back to news. You know, I
Mm,
wanted to come back to media. And I felt like, well, nobody's going to put me on their air in this fro. You know
uh-huh.
what I mean? I kept reading stories about women who were getting fired from their hair because their hair was natural. I'm like, this is never going to go anywhere. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is ridiculous. And so I relaxed it. I relaxed my beautiful, thick fro, girl. And of course, it
Wow.
looked great. And I just remember like feeling it. Like I saw like the girl in the mirror with the blowout. And I'm just like, not really feeling her. not
Yeah.
really feeling her. And I just hated how weak my hair felt relaxed.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It felt so weak. It was just so broken down. And, I hated it, and because I am a very fixed type A personality, all or nothing, I'm like, you know what, this shit's gotta go. I'm like, this shit's gotta go. And I'm not doing any blowouts, not trying to like have like the relaxer and the natural. Like, we just going to shave this shit off and we're just gonna, they're gonna have to have somebody on their air with an afro because that's what I'm doing now.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, went to the barber. They cut it down, and like everybody in the barbershop was like, "Ma, that's you. Like, that's you." And the barber turned me around in the chair. Shout out to Figs Barbershop in Harlem on the corner of 135th Street. And Frederick Douglass or Adam Clayton Powell. I've been away from Harlem too long, I can't even remember. But Figs Barbershop right there on the corner, 135th, I think, and Adam. Yeah, those boys in there, they gave me my first baldy and spun me around. And I was just like, wow, okay.
Here I am.
Yeah. Yeah, and Denny Mo's, the guys over at Denny Mo's, my good friend Eric at Denny Mo's.
Yeah,
he was
I've had my haircut there before.
Yeah, Eric. He was also an early barber. I think he was the second barber to give me a cut. So that's how it happened for me. I've been here ever since. And, I've dated men who are like, well, this is nice. But, I saw pictures. I've seen pictures of you online with your hair. Are you going to grow it back?
I hate that question.
First of all, you stalking me online. And how far did you have to dig to find me with a blowout from like 99? But, this is where I am now, and I absolutely love it. I'm definitely, I feel beautiful here. I feel powerful. I feel exceptionally beautiful. I'm going to add that part. I feel exceptionally beautiful with a bare head. I feel powerful. I feel elegant and eloquent. Yeah, it's a great space to exist,
Absolutely. It's
Yeah, like I said, when I see you, because people are like, I think I saw you at the Grammys. I'm like, that's not me. That was Dana. I think I saw you on such and such. That's not me. That's Dana. She's actually about 3 inches taller than I am.
How tall are you?
Girl, I'm 5'2" and 3/4.
I'm 5'4", but I'm always in a sky high.
Me too. Me too. But yeah, So like again, Dana. Oh, thank you.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Yeah, this was so good. We're going to have to do this again. I want to put together a panel of Black women in media, probably going forward for fall. So look out for an email or some communication from me.
I'm down. However I can support or be a part, I'm here. I love and respect you so much. Whatever you need.
Yeah, there's so many young men and women who want to do what we do. And I really want them to get the nuts and bolts and the full understanding that you just don't wake up and become a correspondent. You just don't wake up and pop up in a press junket. You just don't wake up and pop up on a red carpet at a large-scale activation like the Globes, the Grammys, the Oscars, all the wonderful things that you and I have both had the honor and privilege of covering, for major networks. So I definitely want to, pass it. Pass it.
Hold on, Cabby 96. In my head, I'm 8'12".
You're stupid, girl. Me too. Me too. You can't tell me. You can't tell me I'm not tall.
You can't tell me I'm not tall.
I am not tall. I'm like up here. I stand next to my gentleman friends or somebody that I'm dating. I'm like, I'm really small. They were like, you think?
Right before the pandemic, I was in a grocery store. I was at a Rouse in LA, and I just knew I wanted these particular peppers for this dish I was making. I just knew I could reach these peppers on the top shelf, and I was like doing like this, and I was jumping, and I was looking around for something I could stand on. And this dude walked up to me. He was like, "Really? You gonna do all of that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, would you like some help? I said, brother, you see me struggling? Reach it. Come on. And he started
Brother,
laughing.
you see
He
me
was
struggling.
dying.
Yes.
Huh?
Help a sister out.
I was like,
Help
help
a
me
sister
out.
out.
Help
Help
me
a
out,
sister
sir. You
out.
see, but he was like, you really weren't gonna ask for help. You were just gonna stand here and keep jumping. And look, yes, I was.
Jumping.
I was
Jumping.
jumping. I was looking for
Jumping.
something to stand on. He was like, you know what? Let me just help you out. But yes, why thank you.
I love that.
Thanks,
That's sweet. A brother came to the innocence of a beautiful bald black queen. I love it. I love it. Dana, this was amazing. Thank you so much for jumping back on this after we lost the first one. I'm like, the devil is a liar, but Jesus is a healing bomb. Hold up, but my cousin told me is 6 feet something, and I still tell him I'm his size. I'm 5'3".
That's right.
Yeah, you sound like me. Sorry, guys, for all this allergy and sinus stuff. I don't know what's happening right now. I just need to leave the area alone completely.
No, you're perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dana. Love you, madly. Thank you guys for tuning in for both parts. I'm going to put this on my live right now, so if you missed anything, jump in, share it. Of course, I'm going to send it to everybody. Follow Dana at Dana Blair. She's also on YouTube. Do you still have your I Am Not That Girl? What is it?
No, I'm not. Girl, I was on hiatus actually once I moved to LA.
Okay.
I've been working on some things with that as well, but I'm gonna that coming out soon.
That was good too, sis. That was good too.
I love to ask questions. I love to ask questions and give
Yeah, that was awesome. Well, this was good. Good. Stay in touch. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Be safe. Love you. Thanks, everybody. Bye.